And here's one place that you need to be careful. This is how Pi describes a zoo. So it's like perfect. It suggests that a zoo has beauty and variety. And what does it show us? His sensitivity, his responsiveness to the natural environment, that he really believes this about a zoo. But what I've been trying to suggest is that this idea has been attacked and has created quite some heated debate. So remember, Pi is not some kind of genuine scientist speaking from a position of research. He's a character in a novel. And then we come to Pi and agnostics. Pi rejects agnostics on the grounds that they are muddled. They don't know which way was up, and they're in the thrall of reason, that fool's gold for the bright. Now we need just to look at that image for a moment. Again, this is Pi speaking. If you're in somebody's thrall, it's like a spell has been cast over you. And look what Pi is attacking. He's attacking reason. And he calls it fool's gold. So let's just talk about fool's gold for a moment. When you see it, it looks all bright and glittering. And so if you're not experienced, you will collect it and say, oh, I found gold, I found gold. But it actually isn't real. You have been tricked and deceived, and it's not real. So what is he saying about reason? He's saying reason tricks and deceives. So this is an attack on reason. Just go back to what we were talking about earlier, that Pi values imagination, as does the fictional writer of this novel, that we need to transform reality, not through reason, but through imagination. So if you look back at this image, you can see that Pi is attacking people who rely on reason and feel that this will, I don't know, provide a kind of ultimate truth, and saying that's not how you get to an ultimate truth. Now, Pi attacks agnostics in chapter 7. Doubt is useful for a while, but we must move on. To choose doubt as a philosophy of life is akin to, is similar to, choosing immobility, that's not moving, as a means of transportation. However, Pi accepts atheists because atheists are my brothers and sisters of a different faith. And every word they speak speaks of faith. Like me, they go as far as the legs of reason will carry them, and then they leap. We will come back to this, but you need to remember this attack on agnostics and an acceptance of atheists, because atheists take reason as far as they can and then make a leap of faith. I want to look now at Pi's nickname. Now, his nickname shows us that he does experience suffering, and I would argue that it's his first experience of sustained suffering. But the way that he deals with it shows his intelligence and resilience. And I think these are very, very important qualities, because they are the qualities that are going to help him survive the shipwreck. So yes, he suffers terribly with the nickname in primary school, but he also uses his intelligence to work out a solution. And he puts that into practice. He conceives of a plan that will change his situation for the better, and he acts on it. So yes, he suffers, and yes, he's humiliated, but he bounces back and he uses his intelligence and shows resilience. And then I also want to point out to you that in these first chapters, we get constant references to Richard Parker. And obviously this is going to be important in part 2. So here's an example. Richard Parker has stayed with me. I've never forgotten him. Dare I say I miss him? I do. I miss him. I still see him in my dreams. Well, they're nightmares mostly, but nightmares tinged with love. Such is the strangeness of the human heart. I still cannot understand how he could abandon me so unceremoniously. And then he explains unceremoniously here, without any sort of goodbye, without looking back even once. That pain is like an axe that chops at my heart. So we're constantly being prepared for what is coming later in the novel.